Hi everyone. In today's video, I wanted to do more clothing modding. Well, I don't think we actually haven't started in the series yet, but I wanted to start going over things like upscaling and actually making clothing mods. In the past, we have done the hat tutorial, but this will go a little bit more into kind of um, like rigging and like getting clothing items to go over like a Final Fantasy body mod, if you will. Um, the clothing item that I wanted to do today was just a pair of boots. So there won't be any skin showing for it, but with later mods like gloves, I did plan to make a point to, include some kind of modded mesh with it. But it's still a good idea to look into getting some kind of dev kit or upscale kit, just because these can really, expedite the process for rigging and such. And I'll probably still use the same script that we had, or I'm sorry, the same plugin that we had used for the minion tutorial, where it kind of handles most of the waiting. But again, still a good idea to just look around on the mod archive for any kind of kit if you do use a body mod or not. As far as vanilla goes, I'm not sure if they have kits like this, um, but there's no reason really not to use this. Uh, they just overall work better and have more support in Blender, it seems. So I'm personally going to use TBSE. This is just for like masculine characters. It's personally the one I use, but sorry. If you look for your own body mod, there probably is one out there, or at least there's a good chance there is. Um, so I'll throw this link in the description for this one, and all it's going to take you to is it's going to show you some documentation regarding how to use the script kit, and it's just saying here's some of the FBX import settings and then some of the export settings you'll want, and then it just kind of goes over like kind of how you can use it, so you can customize it with different body types, and basically you'll be able to use the eyeball to like hide stuff, and then it's also saying you can add a model to the gear list. And I'll use this for when we create our mod today. But yeah, this should be about all you need right now. Um, so I would say if you guys are doing a body mod similar to mine, you can go ahead and just follow this tutorial. If you're using a different one, um, most of the stuff should apply the same. Shouldn't be like too extremely different, I would imagine. You probably might just have to sculpt your mesh a little bit more. But for today, we're gonna use this. So just get this downloaded, and then I will see you guys in Blender whenever you guys are ready. Alright guys, so we're here in Blender, and we have the file open. So right away, we're greeted with just the mesh, the TBSE default body, and basically at this point, I just want to explain a few things. So you should be able to use these drop-down menus if you would like to select a different body mesh. Same with the leg shape as well. So most of these parts are customizable. Today we don't really need anything crazy, so I'm just going to use this eyeball to turn out the chest and the leg shapes. And we also don't need the hands either for the shoe mod. So if you guys are curious, one thing I want to recommend is probably turn off proportional editing, because we don't need that right now. You can choose O as a hotkey, turn it on and off. By default it is on, so we're just gonna leave it off for now. But yeah, getting back into it. if you press spacebar, you'll actually be able to play animations. So I'm going to do that really quick. It is pretty laggy right now, but yeah, as you can see, it'll play this animation, which is actually really useful for testing out your rig just to make sure everything is working properly. And yeah, so I wanted to show you guys that just because it's a neat feature with this dev kit. And yeah, so just getting into it, I am going to just save this how it is. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab the shoe model that I want to use. And we'll go and do that edit really quick. So I'm going to open up the model I have. And alright, so I'm going to use this model of Ace from One Piece Odyssey. And this is the shoe model that I would like to use for the tutorial today. So it's just these pair of boots, nothing crazy. So if I recall, by default, they actually aren't separated. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn off this collection. I'll show you guys how it was before. So yeah, you can see that. Oops, sorry, that is the the shadow. Here, really quick, before we do anything, let's just duplicate this collection, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm going to hide the armature, and then we're just going to delete this shadow, or I'm sorry, the outline, because we don't need it. And then now we can get into it. So if we can see Ace, his accessories are kind of comprised of all these different parts. And I'm going to show you guys just really quick how to separate them so that we can just obtain, the shoe model, because that's all we need. So all we'll have to do, just if you want to separate a mesh, is we would just press tab. And if we press A, you can see we're selecting all these vertices, but we just want to click off here because we don't need it. And then all I'm going to do is just simply highlight whatever we need. If the dragging isn't good for you or doesn't work for you, you can press C, and then using the scroll wheel, you can get this little circle cursor, and this also allows you to select vertices. I don't need this one personally, but it's an option. And if you hold shift while doing it, it'll like deselect stuff. So either the drag box works, or you can do C to use the little circle. Both of them are good options, but for now I'm just gonna drag this, and I'm gonna press P, and we're gonna just separate it by selection. So nice. We got our thing right here, and I think the last thing I'm gonna do really quick is I'm just gonna press. I'm gonna click the boots now that I've separated them. I'm gonna press Tab A to select all. I'm gonna press P to separate by material. And I didn't do anything, but sometimes there might be some leftover vertices or something that doesn't really need to be there, if you will. So yeah, I'm gonna copy this because I've got what I need now. And yeah, we can simply just press Control C, and when we open the dev kit now, it should just automatically import to here. So I'm gonna close down all these collections really quick, and since I'm making this a gear, I'm gonna put it inside of this collection. So all I did was just paste it in there. And I forgot to mention this, but we want to make sure we get rid of this armature. So I'm just gonna shift click these. So left click and then hold left shift. Then I'll do object, apply all transforms. And then I'm just going to delete that. Just like that. And yeah, so here we've got our boots. I think what I'm going to do at this point is I'm actually going to press tab and whoops, Sorry, by default they use the lasso. I'm gonna do the select box because that's what I prefer. So I'm actually going to just delete this these vertices so that we can just have one shoe and then we'll mirror it later on. So we'll also, yeah, that's fine for now. I do want to add the mirror modifier so that we have two of them. And at this point, all I'm going to do is just kind of try to line up the boot as best I can with the foot, just so that we get a nice rig going, essentially, once we attach the armatures, if you will. So at this point, it's just going to kind of be some manual editing on your own end. I'll also actually use the legs, because these can give us a good guide of what we need. Yeah, this should work. Yeah, I would definitely recommend just using the legs kind of as a base if you have some boots like this. But otherwise, you'll have to just try your best to get them around the foot area. And yeah, so I think those are good. I think at this point we can go ahead and I'm actually going to delete all the old vertex groups off of this, so I'll just do delete all groups, so we don't want any. And then I'm actually going to go ahead and, let's see. I think at this point we'd want to attach it to the foot. Let me go ahead and turn off the leg shape. And we'll open up this collection for the foot. So I'm going to click my boots. Then I'm going to hold control and click the feet. And I'm just going to hit a quick, or attach to select a target. Just like that. Oops. I actually did forget something. I'm going to apply my modifier first. So let's do that. And now, can we try it? Attach to selected. Hey, seems good. We got the modifier and it applied the skeleton to it. And yeah, we should be good. Let's give it a test. If we press play. Seems pretty good. I know it's really laggy. I apologize for that. Just kind of scrub the timeline. But yeah, it looks mostly good. So the auto attach plugin, it does a pretty good job, but it's also not a bad idea to actually go ahead and look in weight paint mode just to make sure everything's looking okay. So we can click the data tab here, and we'll be able to basically check the heat map for maybe any issues. So if you guys don't know these vertex groups, they kind of will match each other. They just mirror each other essentially. So like if it's a CL, that's just like the part of like the shin right here, I guess you could say, for the left side, and then CR would be like the right one. So it mostly does a pretty good job, I would say. It's nothing like too crazy, especially for just, you know, basic mods like this. If you go into wireframe mode, it'll give you pretty, you know, good detail of the whole heat map, which is usually the version I would like to use. I'm not exactly sure what this is, ER. I'm gonna take a look at the foot model. We'll go to weight paint mode. So yeah, it's like this little like middle section of the foot. I'm not exactly sure what that is, or if we need to modify that in any way. Should be okay. When I did my original test of this, I was doing some weighting on the this little like piece right here on the shoe. Sorry, I'm like trying to show it. I'm kind of failing at that. Okay, object mode. All right, this like little bolt on the shoe, I was kind of changing that up, but I think it should be fine. I'll kind of just look at it. You really want to look at like part of the animation where the foot really deforms, like kind of something like this, where he's like crouching. So you can see this part gets like a little bit wonky, and this is where you definitely might want to adjust the weights just like a little bit. So this is the right foot. I'm gonna turn this butterfly on. It should go on both sides, but yeah, you might want to just like edit the weight just like a tiny bit, just so that it kind of keeps that original shape, if you will. Nothing, you don't have to go too crazy on it, because it's already natural that each section of the heat map in the rig will like deform in some way. And especially at like a very small detail like this is kind of, you know, I guess what I'm trying to say, in the grand scheme of things, it's not really that big of a deal, but if it is to you, you can definitely like go ahead and, you know, modify the mesh to your own liking, if you will. So I'm just gonna do like a quick few edits here. That's looking like okay. It's more of like a circle. Yeah, you can see that like when you click on these little vertexes, they definitely go like a little bit the shape can change quite drastically sometimes. But that looks pretty good, honestly. I actually really like how that looks. Oops. Bump this one up quite a bit. This one's not perfect, but it's alright. I'm pretty happy with where this is at right now, personally. It really doesn't need any crazy changes or anything. So I think I'm just going to leave it as is. So at this point, once this is looking good, something I actually forgot to mention. I think we can actually go here, and we should be able to add this. Add selected gear model to feet gear list. This adds leg shape keys to the object. So boom, we got this part right here. It just toggles the feet, but yeah, now we can use like this eyeball to. Actually, we can literally just use this. So yeah, this is good for changing the name and stuff like that. Yeah, I think we're almost pretty much good to go. I'm just gonna rename this mesh. It's all just one thing, and it's also one material, so we can just keep it as one part. I'm gonna just name this like Cracker Boots or something. Do Trace Boots. So it's like Ace Boots. I'll just do part 0.0, because it'll be the first mesh. Now I just save it. You can always download a backup copy of this dev kit. That might be a good idea, just in case you mess with anything. Like, I probably wouldn't touch anything on the right side here, because all the controls are here on the left side, so yeah, it should be good to go. At this point, if you want to export it, just make sure you have this set up here. And then all we want to do is just press A, so we're selecting the rig and the mesh. And then we definitely want to refer to the guide here. So if you see right here, you want to make sure you have all these options selected in your export. I already made an export option for myself, so I don't need to do that. So I'm just gonna go to FBX, and then I made this preset right here. It like changes like this in the primary bone thing. Sorry, I'm trying to get it. The primary bone axis and the secondary bone axis, and it's like limited to selecting the objects and stuff like that. So right now I'm just gonna go export it to wherever it will go. I'm just gonna put it here on my desktop. And then I'll just export it there. We should be good to go. I'll see you guys over in Textools for how we're gonna import this into the game. Right, okay, so we're in game a little bit early. The mod isn't made yet, but I wanted to show you guys kind of a different workflow today using Penumbra. And it's really simple. It's just that instead of exporting the mod from Textools, we can kind of skip a few steps and just basically attach Textools directly to Penumbra. So that way we can see the edits live while testing the mod, which is super useful. So first thing we're going to do is just create an empty mod. And I'm just going to name this Ace Boots. You can name it whatever you'd like. Then you can go ahead and just enable it. And then we're going to head over to Textools. And you can see that there's this little button right here. It's called Transaction Status. By default it's going to be closed, but if we click it, and then we click Attach to Penumbra, you will then have to navigate to wherever all of your Penumbra mods are located. So in my case, it's just directly on my D drive in the mods folder. And then you'll see, you can sort this by date modified. So right here, I'm just going to use the Ace Boots, and I'll do select folder. And now we're attached to this mod, basically. You can see right here we have the transaction manager. And yeah, that's pretty much how you get that set up. So basically, just like all of our other mods, we can go ahead and start doing our material and importing our model thereafter. So just really quick, I'm going to go ahead and start doing that. So I'll start with the material first. We'll do new material, B, create. We'll do load preset, and we'll make sure we'll load our color set. We're just gonna do diffuse specular. We'll do load, make unique, save. We can close this. And we can start loading up our textures. Alright, and then after that, we can just go ahead and load up our custom model. I just realized that I did not name it the right way, so definitely make sure that you change the name in Blender if you need to do that, but I think it should be fine if we open the editor. It should be okay. Yeah, it's alright. So it should be fine. We'll put this on material B. And we should be good to go. Press confirm. And we don't have any errors except just this wait data one. But it should be alright. And then yeah, we already got the model right here. We can just press save to Penumbra. And then if we check in game, let's give it a shot. Does not seem to be changed yet. I'm not sure why. Okay, so all the error is just that I had another mod over the Night of Devil reboots. So just kind of keep that in mind whenever you are, creating a mod. Just if you have something over another, make sure they're not conflicting, or you can use the priority thing to change that. You can see there's a little bit of skin sticking out there. At this point, you'd just go back into Blender and, you'd want to pull on this. You could use the sculpt tool and pull on the boots just a little bit, just to kind of modify them, really. This is kind of more of an issue with the fact that the male aura scales a little bit bigger than the Midlanders, so it kind of just depends on your character's race. But I'm pretty satisfied with this right now. I'll go do my own manual edits later, but that's really all we have for the end of the video. At this point, I would just do save to Penumbra again. It's still working, so that's good. And then we'd want to, let's see. Sorry, wrong tab, right here. We'll do commit transaction, so that's good. And then, yeah, you should be good after that. It should save automatically. I'll just hit this one more time. And then I will just do cancel. So now Textools is disconnected fully. And we just have our mod here in Penumbra. And if you want to export it, you could just simply do edit mod and export it as a PMP file. But that's the end of the video today. If you guys have any questions about, like dev kits, or, maybe we could go more in-depth in weight painting if you guys need to, but for now, that's all I've got. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, hope you learned something today, and I will see you guys in the next video later this week. So, see you later. Sorry. Bye-bye.